What's up, everybody? My name is Michael, or Kiratze Online. Hopefully, you guys are having a positively fantastic day so far, and I am here with episode 6 of FitnessForXP, a podcast cataloging my journey into fitness and also to become a personal trainer, as well as talking about games, live streaming, and all that goodness and goodness, goodness. Today was a long day, and I apologize if I sound a little bit weird. I have currently Kleenex stuck up my nose because my allergies have been real hitting me hard today, and this is one of the best ways for me to just deal with a runny nose. So also, if I sniffle a little bit, I apologize about that as well. It's definitely not as bad when I'm outside of the shop and back at home. Working today was definitely rough. If you guys don't know, I detail vehicles, and there's a lot of chemicals in the air and dust and shit and stuff like that. So especially when you were working in like 25 plus degree weather in the sun, it can get a little bad when it comes to my allergies. But anyways, enough about me. Well, actually, this podcast is mainly going to be about me. I don't know why I said that. Yes, these are unscripted, as you can probably tell. So it's been like what, a week since my last episode. I have really, in terms of what I've been playing, what have I been playing? Pretty much more Fortnite. I love that game. It's really fun. Like, yes, there's a ton of problems with it in terms of progression and stuff like that. For me, I'm one of those rare people that is not too hindered by it, and doesn't mind the grind. I really like the gameplay loop, so I could just do it for hours and hours on end, just killing zombies over and over again and just looting stuff, even though I know what to expect pretty much at this point. It's just really fun, and now I'm starting to play with more people. The owner of actually my local esports bar. I'm a featured streamer for Mana Bar in my city, which is a local esports bar. And the owner, Chris, he's an awesome dude. I've been playing with him a little bit. My brother just got the game, and Jedi Poner Byron, one of my mods. If you guys probably have seen him in my Twitch chat. We've been playing and starting to play with more people, and it's a lot more fun when you're playing with people, of course, as with most games are. And so I've been doing a lot of Fortnite for streams. And I've also been doing Path of Exile. I jumped into Path of Exile. I was watching JP play it, and people were talking about the big update. Actually, one of the reasons I wanted to check it out is because the only reason I heard about the newest update was when I was playing Fortnite. I was streaming Fortnite one night, and a partnered streamer stopped in my chat, and he was actually a Path of Exile partnered streamer, and that's the first time I've had a verified partnered streamer just walk into my chat randomly. And he was an awesome dude. Norse_TV is his name if you want to check him out. He plays a lot of Path of Exile, and he was asking me questions about Fortnite and stuff like that. So it was really awesome to chat with him, and yeah, it was pretty cool moment. Like, I've had partner streamers in there before, but only because I've been part of their community and stuff like that. This is like the first random verified partner streamer that has come into my chat. So yeah, I downloaded Path of Exile. It's like the big, I don't know, 3.0 patch is what it was, and added like 6 acts or whatever. It's just insane for a free-to-play game, and props to them for making an extremely solid free-to-play game. Like, I'm playing it right now. I'm probably about, I would say, 8 hours in, and well, maybe less, probably less. I'm still in Act 2, and I'm about level 21 or something like that. I'm just sort of building my own fun version of a minion master, because I played a minion master in Guild Wars 1, absolutely loved it, and I wanted something similar in this game. So trying to do that. I'm not really following a build. I know I probably should, but I'm just having fun exploring the skill tree and just finding a node that, seeing a node that I really like, just going for it, and then moving on to the next big node that I want to get. So that's how I'm doing things. It's definitely not the most efficient way or optimized way to do it, but I'm a casual pleb. Casual pleb for life in Path of Exile. But it's a lot of fun. I've never really been huge on the Diablo-style games in terms of playing them long-term, but I'm really enjoying Path of Exile. I played it when it first came out, and it's a lot of fun. Like, I just love the progression system. I love the customization about it, and just the depth of your characters. So that's the biggest thing that attracts me to it. And then Byron is downloading it as well, so we're going to probably play together, and I'm sure it'll be a lot more fun, especially when you're playing with someone else. Because that's one big thing that I've noticed is I don't like these Diablo-style games too much when I'm playing by myself, just because I find it a little bit monotonous, the gameplay. Just kill things over and over again. And just the way that you do it is very monotonous. It's at some points, it's that's why I like a minion master though, because it's pretty fun being able to just create a bunch of different things and have so many minions going on screen. And while it is, I guess, a little bit more monotonous than if I actively chose my own skills, I do get to throw in my own skills and stuff like that and my own spells here and there. So, it's a lot of fun. I really like it. I'm excited to actually check out some later stuff. Like, I do want to keep streaming it, and this is sort of a weird time for me streaming wise, because like the past few weeks, I've been streaming a lot of games like Fortnite, like Path of Exile, that are just hugely saturated in terms of streamers, and that's something that I normally never would have done. But I've been having a lot of fun with the games. It's just really enjoyable games for me, and I've just been doing it for myself. And weirdly enough, the past few weeks, my viewership has been pretty decent. Like normally, I'm probably a couple months ago, I was probably like average like 3-4 viewers on the weekdays. Now it's like 11 10 plus viewers during the weekdays, and weekend streams are great. It's usually 20 plus people in watching, which is awesome. And I actually feel my channel growing, which is really, really cool. I haven't really dove into the analytics yet. I try to stay away from that kind of stuff because I get sort of hooked on those numbers, but I definitely want to try and use something like Stream Elements or some other analytical tool and actually sort of really try and figure out where I can improve and stuff like that. Because I do want to grow. Partnership the dream, of course, but just grow in general. I know partnership's not going to come anytime soon, but I definitely want to try and make the stream as best as I can for you guys. Which, if you guys aren't following, of course, you can find my Twitch link in the descriptions, both on SoundCloud and on YouTube in the description box below. So yeah, that's pretty much been that. I had a big giveaway for Fortnite, and that boosted my numbers a little bit in terms of followers. So hopefully that those people that followed from the giveaway actually end up checking my stream out, because that's the main goal of those giveaways. Isn't just for the follower number; it's for hopefully actually getting them to check me out sometime. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing today. I just downloaded and installed Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. That game looks really, really interesting, and I actually tried streaming it yesterday. But when I started the game, this is like the first big single player game I've played in a while, and when that's gonna probably have a really, really cool story. And my weekday streams are pretty chill. Like I said, my viewership on my weekdays is much worse than on weekends, just due to people's availability to watch me and time zones and everything. So there wasn't many people watching, and I was like, well, I think a lot of my regulars would like this. So I'm actually going to stream it this upcoming weekend. So you guys can make sure to check in on that stream during the weekend, because the game looks really, really interesting. I did not look at any streams. I don't know anything about the game because I want to go in completely blind. I know it looks great. It's gorgeous. I played just the first intro minute, and it's super creepy undertones, and I'm really going to enjoy streaming it, I think. It's only about a 6.5 hour game, I think, is the main story. So I should be able to get through it over the course of the Saturday, Sunday streams. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. I don't think... Let me just see if there's been anything else, really. Yeah, nothing else, I guess. Can't remember if I talked about Pyre last time, but yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. Like, Fortnite does take up a lot of my time, and same with Path of Exile. They're both like really grindy games, which is pretty funny. So of course, with them being both grindy games, it's gonna take up a lot of my time just sticking to the grind. But I made a lot of progress in Fortnite, so I'm pretty happy about that. Finally made it to Plankerton, and for those of you playing Fortnite, it does get a lot more challenging in the second world. Like it goes from like, I wouldn't say 0 to 100, but it's definitely a lot more intense, and it's a lot more fun too. So to those of you who are having trouble getting through like the early world grind, if you enjoy the game, stick with it, because it does get a lot better in Plankerton in the second world, because I actually died once. There's the mist monsters can like one-shot you, and you do need to use your traps. It's not just about weaponry. So it's a lot more interesting. So I'm really excited to see the future of the game. But anyways, today on the podcast, so that's what I've been playing. But the subject I want to talk about today is sort of the parallels between live streaming and fitness. And this is something that I've sort of been thinking about as I've been, sort of doing my training and stuff like that. Because I've been noticing there's just a lot of parallels between the two in terms of just how you do it, what what kind of stuff you get out of it. And so I just want to talk about some of those things today, and I'm sure many of you guys, live streaming yourself, and if you decide to start a fitness journey, I'm sure you'll encounter sort of these same points. And I have just about 5 main points I want to talk about. Some of them are pretty similar, but I decided to break it up into sort of 5 little things. But so the first little point I want to say, I guess the first parallel between live streaming and fitness is that they're very individual, and I think that goes for just Twitch a lot. I think every streamer will, every partner streamer especially will say, just everyone's journey to partnership is different. And I think that's, it's exactly the same thing for fitness. Like there's so many different ways to go about it, and there's not one right way to do it. There's just like, in fitness, obviously, there are right ways to do exercises. But the same goes for Twitch. Like there are right ways to do things, but in general, sort of the overall big picture is your success in both of them is going to be all up to you and your individuality. We there's so many differences between people, and that you shouldn't be comparing yourself to other people. And that I think that really definitely happens in both worlds as well. On Twitch you have a lot of people looking up to other streamers. Maybe they're jealous, or maybe they think they don't deserve that success. Same thing for fitness. I watch a lot of fitness YouTubers, and in the comment section as well, there's so many jealous people and so many people comparing themselves as well. And even myself, and going into the gym, you look at it, I thankfully look at it as, motivation. When I look at someone like deadlifting or lifting tons of more weight than me, especially if they don't look like they should be lifting that much weight compared to myself, I find that motivating. I don't get jealous of those people. I feel like, okay, well, if those people can do it, I can definitely do it. And I think that you should take that away for both worlds as well. If you are a streamer, don't focus on other people's growth. You should be happy for them. You should be looking at ways you can succeed in yourself so you can grow, because obviously you should always be telling yourself, if they can do it, I can do it. And that's because we're all going to be succeeding on Twitch and in fitness in different ways, just due to how we operate as individuals. And so focusing on the differences is something that should be avoided, I think, in order to succeed, or in order to be happy in general in life. But that's one big thing that I noticed was when I was reading, just learning about fitness and stuff like that, and everyone's saying like, oh, it depends on the person and stuff like that, especially when it comes to like diet, for example. It's like, oh, it depends on the person. It's so individual, figure out what works best for you. That's what I read up a lot and hear a lot in the fitness world is, figure out what works best for you. And that goes the same for Twitch, figure out your niche, figure out, what makes your channel grow, and focus on those things that you're really, really good at. But at the same time, don't be afraid to go out your comfort zone a little bit. And again, same with fitness. That's how you grow, is getting out of your comfort zone. And so the second point, that's the first point. Second point is just talking about the grind. The grind is real in both of them. I think fitness more so, just because you can't really get lucky when it comes to fitness, I guess. Obviously, if you have like a genetic advantage, I guess you can call that being lucky, but you still have to put in a lot of work, and it's all about consistency, and same goes for Twitch. For live streaming, your growth is going to be really dependent on just if you can stay consistent with your goals, focus on them, and, you just grind those hours out. When you hear about any top level partnered streamer, they'll always tell you about the many, many hours they've streamed where, they weren't growing, or, they did 10+ hour streams and like barely any people watched when they first started out. Those types of things are the grind. And everyone's going to have their ups and downs in both worlds as well. Just, if you saw my Twitter, this past week, I tried to go for a 200-pound squat for 5. I do my squats 2 sets of 5 and then 1 set of 5 AMRAP, which is as many reps as possible. So my last set is going to be as many reps as possible with good form. So I attempted 200 pounds because I successfully did, I think it was like a week ago or a week and a half ago, 185. And just recently I tried 200 and I failed on that. And especially lifting weights in a gym is really embarrassing when you fail a weight. Obviously, I didn't fail in the sense that I couldn't like get back up. I probably did I did 5 reps, but they were terrible form. It didn't feel good, and so that I would count as a fail. So, everyone has their ups and downs, and just like streaming, like you could say the equivalent to that, me failing that rep or that set was like maybe that, like I said, many people and myself as well have done like hour long, like tons of hours of streams sometimes where literally no one speaks up in chat, or like you take a look at the viewer bar and it stays at 0. When you're starting out, that those things happen. But again, it's all about looking at ways you can improve and just trying to do the small successes to build the bigger picture. Oh, damn. I just labeled my last point. Anyways, the grind is real in both, and it's all about consistency and sticking with it. Because, as long as you do those things and make sure that you have your proper workout program and training and diet, and, same for Twitch, you have your, proper positioning on Twitch, you have a good hours of streaming, you're energized, your technical aspects of your stream are proper. If things are in place, it's just about grinding those hours out, and success will come, I think, to everyone when they do those things. And my third point is the more work you put in, the more successful you'll be. And so streaming can be sort of an exception. Just like, fitness, you for the grind, you can't really get lucky. Streaming, you can actually get a little bit lucky. There are plenty of streamers out there who have gotten successful just because they were in the right place at the right time. But from then on, they still have to put in a lot of work. So that's not taking away from their success or anything like that. At the same time, you can do everything right, and that doesn't equal success on Twitch. So like fitness, fitness is a little bit different than Twitch in that sense, or live streaming in that sense, because if you do everything perfectly in fitness and you just stay consistent, you'll succeed. You'll succeed guaranteed. Pretty much just you'll grow, you'll see progress. That's how I gauge success essentially. There's not really an end game, of course, for that. You always want to keep improving. But for streaming, it's a little bit different. You could do literally everything right in streaming, and just because of the nature of Twitch, you still may not succeed. You still may not see growth. And then at that point is just trying to change it up. Being resourceful is such an important skill in both of the fields that I because the more work you put in, analyzing your numbers, figuring out proper positioning, reading up, looking up other streamers, trying to emulate proper habits. Being resourceful is a really, really good thing and a really, really good skill to have. And I think both fitness and, live streaming can build that skill up, and your success will be, really dependent on how resourceful you can be, and learning how to do things on your own, and learning on your own and growing on your own, and trying to filter out the proper information to make sure that you're learning the right things for you, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's one thing that I noticed is that, I'm a pretty resourceful streamer. I think, I've done tons and tons and tons of research when it comes to just sort of, what type of equipment to buy, game choice, things like that. And, same thing for fitness. I'm a pretty cautious person, especially when it came to like the big compound lifts. I did tons of research and just figuring out, okay, proper format or proper movements, and, what things to watch out for and stuff like that. And, I've seen a lot of progress, a lot of growth. So yeah, that's it for point 3. Point 4 is you have to enjoy to succeed. This is a huge parallel, and I think that this goes for, a lot of my previous points go for like a lot of things in life as well. But this one especially is just, you have to enjoy to succeed. Not liking your diet or your workout, for example, is pretty much exactly the same as not liking the game that you're playing and expecting to succeed on Twitch. Viewers can always tell when a streamer's not enjoying the game, and, it really impacts growth. Obviously, if a viewer sees you not having fun, they're probably not going to have fun watching you. And so you really have to enjoy the game that you're playing, and that's a really big key. Even, obviously there's exceptions. If you really enjoy League and you're a brand new streamer, just because you like the game doesn't mean you're going to succeed. There are different factors, and that still goes the same for fitness too. Just because there's so many different variables. But for fitness as well, not liking your diet, even psychologically, that plays a role in your physiology. Just the way hormones work, especially too. You may think that it works best for you, but if you don't like it, you don't be afraid to change it up. Same goes for your training plan as well. When you're lifting or doing any sort of workout, is workout should be fun. If you don't like long distance running, don't long distance run. There are plenty other ways to get cardio. Work up your cardio, and I suggest HIIT in that case, just because I'm a big fan of HIIT workouts and HIIT to get cardio, just because it takes less time essentially, and it's a lot more fun. There's a lot more things you can do with it. So if you don't see success, if you don't see growth or small successes even, don't be afraid to change it up. Don't be afraid to change up your diet, your workout plan. Just because someone else says that it might work best for you, you know you best. So, try and find things that work best for you. And same goes for Twitch. Just because you see tons of other people say, "Oh, I'm getting so many new viewers through this game," or "This is a great category to stream in because I'm seeing a lot of growth in it." If you test, try it out for sure. But if you don't see growth, or if you feel like you're not enjoying it, don't be afraid to change it up. There's nothing wrong with that. And the last point is, I already mentioned this one actually, but my last point is just the small successes make up the bigger picture. Partnership is the dream, but no one's going to get there in a day, and no one gets there without some sort of journey. And same for fitness. There's not really an end goal for fitness, and same goes for streaming as well. I guess that could be another point, is there's no end goal for streaming. Even partnership, I don't think, is an end goal. But throughout your journey into either of these things, you're gonna have to focus on the small successes. Sort of goes back to my second point, which is just because the grind is pretty real in both of these things, you really want to focus on those small successes, and that really does build up your confidence, and that essentially makes it the bigger picture. It's not it's not just the end game goal of becoming partner, or becoming jacked or healthy. It's those small successes that you will notice that will end up making the bigger picture even better. For example, for fitness wise, I can tell you from experience, when I first started working out, one of the big small successes I saw, wasn't just wasn't a physique thing. It was just, I can't remember exactly what I was doing, but I was doing something that I, probably 3-4 months back, I had trouble doing. I think it was just something at work. It was lifting a piece of equipment or something that I normally would have not really had trouble with, but it definitely was a little bit more of a struggle than it should have been. And now I can do it super, super easy, just moving equipment around, and I feel better doing it. And it just, I feel more energized. That's a small thing that you notice, but when it hits you, you realize, hell yeah, I'm this goes towards the bigger picture. I am succeeding. I am getting there. I am growing. And the same goes for live streaming. Everyone's small successes are things like, one person spoke up in chat today, or I got my 100th follower. Those type of milestones and those things are good to good to worry about. But for Twitch specifically, definitely don't focus on the number. Certain things you can focus on are like, today live streaming, I did a whole stream without looking at the viewer count or something like that. That's a small success too, just in your own, habits and things like that. And it's really important to focus on those things. And I think keeping something like a logbook is something that I've heard that could work really well for people who want to who may have trouble having confidence issues or feel like they're not getting anywhere. That's something that you can always look back onto. And a month or 2 months down the road, you can look back and be like, damn, no, I progressed a lot. I did a lot of different things. No matter how small they are, like I said, they make up the bigger picture, and that's the important thing in the end. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today. I didn't really want to go on a huge rant. I actually did bullet point these things just because I definitely would like to get a little bit of a format going. I definitely like these being more free form, but at the same time, I know I do know that I say a lot. I do know I pause a lot. I'm not the greatest, on the spot speaker, and that's another big reason I want to do this podcast is I think it'll be a good way for me to improve sort of my on the spot thinking, which, actually focusing on a subject. It's a little bit different live streaming, like because I actually have something a little more to focus on. While I'm playing the game, it's easy for me to speak about the game and what I'm doing. But for a podcast, especially when I'm just sitting down by myself, not really having another person to bounce ideas off of or anything like that, it's not really something I can't really focus on something to have the time to develop coherent thoughts or sentences. So hopefully this one sounded a little bit better when I had things bullet pointed out. And I apologize again if I sounded a bit nasally or a bit off today. I wouldn't say I'm sick, but having allergies really does suck. Don't get allergies, guys. Just don't get allergies. And don't give your kids allergies. It's not fun. Like, I would rather be sick a lot of the time just because it's all right now because it's, I'm out of the shop and out of the sun. But when I get my allergies really, really bad, I get so congested and sneezing so much that you just can't concentrate, and you can't concentrate on things. Like, I'd rather be sick with like a sore throat or something because at least I would be able to concentrate. So that sort of sucks. But anyways, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and let me know what you guys think about live streaming and fitness, and if you sort of agree with some of these parallels that I sort of came up with. And as usual, let me know in the comments below on what you guys would like me to talk about next. I'm always open to suggestions. These topics that I'm coming up with are just sort of off the cuff and things I've been thinking about myself. But if you guys have any good ideas, or if you guys I don't know, would like me to try and get a guest on or something like that, feel free to let me know. Or if you have any suggestions, I'd be happy to try and reach out to people, even as small and tiny as this podcast is. I think if we can get some more brains on this, that'd be a really, really fun thing to do. But anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for me. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure to check out the links in the description and also in the show notes on SoundCloud. And make sure to follow me on the social media to get in touch with all of my content. But other than that, guys, have a great rest of your day, night, or morning, wherever you are. And I will talk to you guys later.